The first information revolution in the Western world started with the invention of a printing press and a reusable type-based printing system in the year 1450. The Chinese in the 11th century were the first to use reusable type characters made from wood and fired clay. Later, in the early 13th century, the Koreans established a foundry to cast movable type characters in bronze. These inventions were confined within their respective countries and were never used for the mass production of books and writings. However, the European invention of the printing press and reusable type led to the mass production of Bibles, books, and other reading material. The unrestricted circulation of information and revolutionary ideas spread over borders, captured the masses in the Reformation, and threatened the power of political and religious authorities. The increase in literacy broke the monopoly of the literate elite on education and learning, and bolstered the emerging middle class. The man responsible for all of this was Johannes Gutenberg from Mainz, Germany. Before Gutenberg, scribes and monks would laboriously produce handwritten copies of indulgences, Bibles, and other written works. Gutenberg brought his invention to reality by converting a wine press of that era to a functioning printing press. He perfected the molds and the metal used to cast the reusable type, and he developed printing ink suitable for the printing process. Gutenberg's reusable type was an alloy consisting of lead, tin, and antimony. He used lead because of its low melting point. He added tin, which gave the type hardness and durability. He also then added antimony, which is the only metal that expands as it cools, which results in sharp character edges. Thus, the first book to be mass-produced was the Bible. Here you see a copy of the original Gutenberg Bible. Gutenberg's invention of reusable movable type and the printing press led to an explosion of information. From a single print shop in Mainz, Germany, printing spread to around 270 cities in Central, Western, and Eastern Europe by the end of the 15th century. As early as 1480, there were printers active in 110 different places in Germany, Italy, France, Spain, the Netherlands, Belgium, Switzerland, England, Bohemia, and Poland. In Italy, a centre of early printing, print shops had been established in 77 cities and towns by the year 1500. William Caxton was an English merchant, diplomat, and writer. He is credited to be the first person to introduce a printing press into England in 1476, and as a printer was the first English retailer of printed books. In 1788, the First Fleet brought out a small wooden printing press. Neither the guards nor the prisoners knew how to operate it until 1795, when a convict by the name of George Hughes taught himself how to print. He became the first de facto government printer. However, in 1800, Hughes was replaced by a shoplifter named George Howe, who had a solid European literature education and a work background as a printer on the Times and other newspapers, and thus became the first official government printer. Typefaces kept evolving over the centuries, from the black letter typeface on top left used in Gutenberg's Bible to more modern legible typefaces, as you can see here. The Italians are credited for designing and producing the Roman and italic typefaces. As typefaces evolved, so did printing presses. From the hand-built wooden presses to the cast iron presses seen on the top, all in the old Gutenberg style of press, to the more modern clamshell platen presses and cylinder presses in the late 1800s. To fully automatic clamshell and cylinder presses as are shown here. As the printing press evolved, so were faster methods of typesetting being invented. From hand-setting type letter by letter to machine typesetting one line at a time. Gutenberg's invention was truly the genesis of the first information revolution. Learn more and see live demonstrations at the historic Penrith Museum of Printing, which is located in the grounds of the Penrith Paceway, corner of Mulgoa Road and Ransley Street, Penrith, in New South Wales. The museum is open every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m, or you can book a group tour for any day during the week. For more information, phone 0415 625 573 or email pmop@printingmuseum.org.au. Thank you.